on a special sleep-deprived edition. Who knows what could happen in this? Madness, probably. It's slow that you can watch in live and in full colour the descent of a man in total madness. And I will, to help me do that, I will be looking at 4 newspapers today. 4 terrible newspapers in their own individually terrible ways. It's a Sun, Times, Daily Mail and Daily Telegraph day. I'll do the Daily Telegraph as a speed round, so you get me to flail around. Mark Kenosis straight in with the first comment of the week. Broke Daddy Dom. Woke Sub Pop. Excellent. 5 stars to you. Right, we are gonna be starting with the Sun, because, you know, why not start with one of the worst and then we'll end with one of the worst, the Daily Mail, and in the middle, an unpalatable sandwich filling of the Times and the Telegraph. Oh, if you can help me out today, the newsletter went out much later than usual because of me being, you know, off my gourd with sleep deprivation. So, if you can share it, there's a link there, brokenbottleboy.substack.com. If you can share the latest edition today, of all days, it would be really useful because it's going to basically have about 8 hours less time out in the world, basically. Okay, so starting with the Sun. Front page of the Sun. Saka the net. Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1. Not the greatest pun, is it? Hey, the research arena, how are you doing? Top right-hand corner is another Strictly exclusive. Strictly Tom out with COVID. Apparently he will be back. The main story is... we've been told not to panic, so what does the Sun do? Well, the Sun puts as its headline, Panic Monday. 90% of garages dry. Drivers trade punches. Minister urges calm. Sun definitely helping there with urging calm, isn't it? Inside the paper, the dog-bothering former MP from Dudley, Sir Ian Austin, knighted, of course, for his services to stitching up the Labour Party, says, insulting us leaves no hope of PM job. This is, of course, him talking about Angela Rayner calling the leadership of the Tory party scum. And the headline from The Sun on that story, Tory scum blast Rayner in bother. Jesus Christ. If you want to know more about that story, particularly how it parallels the response to Nye Bevan's famous vermin speech on the eve of the birth of the NHS in 1948, do check out today's newsletter, brokenbottleboy.substack.com. As I was saying before a few people joined the stream, newsletter didn't go out till much later than usual today, which means it will get a lot less time for promotion. So if you can share today's newsletter on Facebook, Twitter, by printing it out and attaching it to lampposts around your neighbourhood, do that. It would help me a great deal, and I really, really appreciate it. Sinkmaya said, literally just finished reading that newsletter. It's a great one. Thanks very much. Really appreciate it. I literally just finished reading it, writing it as well. Mark Knossos is funny because what Rayner said is by far the closest Labour has come to actually winning back red wall voters. Exactly. The notion that it's going to put people off is fucking horseshit. Page 3, Miss Scarlott. Charlotte McKinney is happy to give her fans the slip as she poses in a bright red one. The 28-year-old model managed to look almost demure as she relaxed in the satin number. Relaxed. Satin number. Also on page 3. So that's page 3 that isn't page 3 but is page 3. Also on page 3 that isn't page 3 but is page 3. Winner chicken dinner lady. Food firm by Gran's recipe. A dinner lady is celebrating after her homemade chicken nuggets made it onto supermarket shelves. Claire Proctor, 47, created them as a healthy option for her grandkids. Blah blah blah. They've now been bought up by Heck. Remember, of course, Heck played host to a Boris Johnson visit during the last election. Also that this is just a PR release, and The Sun always puts PR releases on the third page, usually food-related ones. She's a model, that's modelling, exactly. Says Slinkmart, pages 4 and 5. Minister urges calm as panic buying sweeps UK. And how does The Sun respond? Well, on the front page, Panic Monday, and inside, no time to drive. Desperate drivers queue night and day. Government tears up rules so fuel firms can share. It's almost like And, you know, obviously I'm a cynic. It's almost like the Sun would like the panic to continue. Right, moving on. Faffing with the blinds here. That's there. Good medium amount of light. On page 7, significant developments. Sabina in the Sabina Nessa murder case. Man 36 held in swoop. Classic tabloid bullshit as ever. There's stunning designs have been submitted for new Royal Mail stamps, including a Captain Sir Tom Moore, Lord Moore, King Moore stamp. On pages 8 and 9, an absolute setup of a picture exclusive of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge enjoying a pub meal in a garden with their children. In no way was the Sun told this was happening. No way at all. The Sun, again, obsessed with Meghan and Harry, says, Meghan and Harry's private jet to preach a eco gig. And the headline, Air Farce One, which is not a bad pun as it goes. Sankamaya, well, the headline, Panic Monday, doesn't actually do much to reduce panic, funny enough. Funny that, isn't it? C122H122 says leaving the EU is bad, not as bad as voting Tory. Industrial Pet says afternoon, or good afternoon to you, Industrial Pet, hope you are well. Trevor Kavanagh is awful. His headline, Right on Labour is absolutely trucked. Oh, God, I'd rather be right on than Trevor Kavanagh. They have a go at Angela Rayner in the leader column, of course, too. On page 11, ads gold, good as gold. Model Adriana Lima wore a dress. That's basically it. It's a gold dress. Britney, now let me run my life. Co-conservator legal bid. Okay, hashtag free Britney. Page 13, shows virus crisis. Sickly strictly. McFly's Tom and Amy have COVID. And apparently the number of viewers of the live show is going down. Sun loves to do this. It's like an attack on the BBC. But the live show viewers go down but you look at the consolidated viewership, including on-demand viewership, and it's, you know, much of a muchness. It's the same shit they tried to do with Doctor Who. Hey, Pablo Bonzo, enjoyed your mask on the Not Today pod show today. If you want to know what I'm referring to, do go and check that out. C122H122, stop panicking. I repeat, stop panicking. Mark Gnosis, by the way, the background image, is that the suite? No, it is not the suite. It is Slade, because the headline of today's newsletter is Scum On, Feel the Noise. Pages 14 and 15, Kelsey Parker, wife of Wanted star Tom on his brain cancer hell. Again, classily framed by the Sun there. Moving on page 17, quad bike Brits 100-foot cliff plunge. Tourist in miracle escape. It just happens to be that this tourist who was in a miracle escape was also pictured in a bikini. How convenient. On page 19, sits on his ass all day. A baby donkey relaxes as he watches TV at his adopted mum Grazina Prevence's bungalow. This Grazina lives in Skegness. There's the donkey. We stan the sofa donkey. Markinosis Slade, brave pioneers who paved the way for Oasis. Yeah, I've always said this for a long time, that Oasis, it's so annoying when people go, this thing of like, Oasis, very influenced by the Beatles. Really, the most of their best ripping off comes from Slade. Anyway, annoying hair. I've made it much worse. Okay. There we go. MOD bills D-Day hero's wife £6.17. The wife of a Normandy veteran has been told to repay £61.17. So £61.17 of her husband's pension. David Edwards died in November, age 95. He was shot in 1944, but was returned to the front line to continue fighting. He had no idea he'd entitled to a disablement pension until at least 40 years later, and eventually got around £200 on the 24th of each month. But because he died on the 17th, relatives believe the Ministry of Defence wants some back, as it was an overpayment. Okay, this stuff happens. It'll get fixed. Mark Canosis, Dapple Rose off the first Slade album is probably the best power ballad about a dying racehorse. Yeah. There's a lot of good Slade. Fluffweasel, Panic. Heyo, Tara Wrights, how are you doing? For anyone who's joined late, I am extremely tired, so today's show is going to be unhinged. So just be prepared for that. 23 on page 23, Murder for Charity drive. The £1 million murder car. The Essex Boys gang Their 4x4 is going to be a raffle prize. This is not at all disturbed. The Range Rover from the Essex Boys murders is set to raise up to £1 million. It's on offer through a raffle to be drawn on the 25th anniversary of the shootings. 1988 4x4 is considered an ultimate piece of gangland memorabilia. This is not deranged. Drug dealers Pat Tate, 34, Craig Rolfe, 26, and Tony Tucker, 38, were shot dead in it on a farm in Retterton, Essex in 1995. 2 men were later jailed over the killings. The blue Range Rover Vogue SE was released by police in 1998. It's been restored but has no MOT. It's registered as an off-road vehicle and has done 96,450 miles. The anonymous seller based in the East Midlands says it's eerie to sit where 3 criminals were killed. Raffle tickets are priced at $19.95 and the winner will be announced on December 6th with money raised going to charities helping victims of crime. Ah! That is deranged. On page 25, Alan Lancaster, the bassist from Status Quo, has died. He was 72. He was a founding member of the band. On the front of the goals supplement, Neasy peasy. Gunners, Ace, Alba, the moon, just like Thierry. Literally, Aubameyang going down on his knees in a slide because he scored, and Thierry Henry did it once, so apparently that's enough, isn't it? Pablo Bonzo, why not buy a piece of Fred West crazy paving? Yeah, I mean, it's just weird. They've got a feature on the repair shop. Stars of the heartwarming TV hit tell their own uplifting stories. Okay, grand. Craig Parkinson from Line of Duty's dressed up as Adam Ant for some reason. I'll promote a new series. All the workers of the world, victims of capitalism's many crimes. Yeah, says Dovehane. Hey, Dovehane, how you doing? In the TV recommendations, Gordon, Gino and Fred go Greek, ITV, 9 p.m, no thank you. The Goes Wrong Show, 8:30 p.m, no thank you. And 24 Hours in Police Custody, 9 p.m, Channel 4, no thank you. And finally, The Perfect Pitch, Channel 4, 5:30 p.m, a light-hearted competition featuring wacky members of the public. Solidly no thank you. Nothing described as wacky is good. If you work in an office with someone who says they're wacky, their hard drive should be checked immediately. In the Fab Daily, the £8 gadget that stops you snoring. Okay, you got me interested. Alright, it's just a thing that you, stick in your nose. Unobtrusive nasal vents. Okay. In this week's Dear Deirdre, the photo case is Robert's marriage shock. Basically, the shock he's going to have is that his wife's having an affair. A woman's daughter has told her that her stepdad was acting creepily around her and 2 friends during a sleepover. She says she believes her. Well, if you believe her, why have you written Into the Sun? Just deal with it. I'm so hurt after son snubbed me on my birthday. Love child shock. Rocking horror. Rocking marriage. And husbands always ogling women. Definitely right Into the Sun about men ogling women. On page 5, Darren Spencer is the... page 5. On page 37, the £50 letter is Darren Spencer from Milton Keynes writing, "What is wrong with people? The Sun has shown greedy, selfish individuals filling jerry can after jerry can. They shouldn't be allowed. Fill your car, then go. Let's hope the issue can be sorted ASAP and the UK can get back to normality." C122H122 says, "My mate Jeffrey is wacky." Yeah, Terry writes, yeah, the nose thing sounds like a good way to murder someone in their sleep. Pablo Bonzo, "The only area where wacky is good is in the workplaces if you work in pest control." Yeah. Mark Notice, Darren Spencer's a proper local news criminal name. It is, yeah. Okay, here's a really ugly thing. 7 chakras of happiness on this bracelet. It's a perfect gift for someone you don't like. £39.95. Featuring amethyst, jasper, turquoise, carnelian, lapis lazuli, aventurine, tiger's eye. Really ugly. Right, they're also trying to sell you boilers, various other things. And in the sport, they call the Ryder Cup the Slaughter by the Water. And on the back page, £200. AJ told he'd be lucky to get hundreds versus Fury, but fallen champ still wants bout without belts. Anthony Joshua has been slated for killing his £200 million super fight with Tyson Fury and told you do well to demand £200 now. Mark Kenosis would buy a chakra boiler. Is not reading the sun away to be happy, 100%. Right, give me your scores for that. It's a minus triple negative nice for me, minus 69, 69, 69. I'm going to attempt to do a speed round of the Telegraph in a second. It's going to go terribly, so let's all just be aware of that. Person in the room, how fast can I get through the Telegraph? Every time. I'm going to do it in 2.5 minutes. Slinkermeyer, 1, 2, 3, 4. Quadruple negative nice. Shucks, Broken Bot is auditioning for the shopping channel. Yes, always. Brown sauce. Right. Today's stream not sponsored by Diet Coke. Purely just gobbling it down in the hope that it will keep me awake long enough to finish the show. I am the Broken Bottle Boy. Follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. Also find me on TikTok at Useless Conquest. And support the newsletter, brokenbottleboy.substack.com. Sign up for free if you like it. Why not upgrade? In the chat today, another TT viewer, Ash Flaps McNulty, C122, H122, Driffiad, hello, Dobhane, nice to see you, Ehud Barak, always good to see you in here, Fluff Weasel, good to see you, Friar Bentos, go with him, Industrial Pet, all excellent contributors to the chat and the show, Mark Kenosis, the show is not the same if Mark is not in the chat, lowering the tone as is often required. Morin Scales here. Hello. Hello also to Mogshed, Nat Zelly, Ove, Jas Yarasasio, Pablo Bonzo, the excellent Pablo Bonzo, Recursive Rosie's here. Hello. Slinkermeyer, if you haven't checked out her photography, do so. Go to Instagram where you will find it. Snur is in the chat. Stream Elements is a bot. Teo writes, good to see you. Always good when you're here. And the recently rebranded The Research Arena is here, and I'm always good to see you in the chat. And make sure you follow her on here because she does good streams too. Right. And soon the Research Arena and I will be doing, haven't worked out the specific date yet, but we will do a show featuring one of the Israeli papers as a special additional publication. Right. That's today's hold music. Right, here we go. Slinkermeyer says unhinged Mick plus flailing will be gold. Absolutely, Doublehead Telegraph. Yuck. Daddy's is lovely New Yorkshire, but still wrong. I don't mind. Daddy's sauce is fine. Someone's going to clip that, guaranteed. But HP sauce is preferable. I say brown sauce because normally I drink from this bottle, which is the mustard bottle. It's not, it's water, but, you know. It's the gag. Always chips, Pablo Bonzo. Mark Kanosis, 2 minutes into the Israeli paper stream, Mick realises he can't read Hebrew. I mean, how hard can it be? Chips, triple fried and dripping, says Dobhane. Right, okay, here we go. Right. What? Okay, do you know when you said to me, I definitely won't clatter about during the stream? It's a bit... Oh, hello. Hello. Right. 2 minutes 30. That's what we're going to do for the Telegraph today. It won't be a personal best, but you know, it'll be the best I can manage today. All right, here we go. And we are off. Front page of the Daily Telegraph. Ryder Cup. It all ends in tears for McElroy and Team Europe. Promoted down the side. Menopause. What every husband needs to know. The hair shop. Promoting again. Macbeth. Coen brother. Stripped back adaptation. It's not both Coen brothers. Marathon Man. Christopher Hope's midlife marathon makeover. Really unhinged. Main stories. Plans for the army to help ease fuel crisis. Of course, they've got a picture of Angela Rayner smoking a fag. New education secretary vows to keep schools open. Voters punish Merkel. Strictly pair test positive for COVID. Nick Timothy is awful as ever. Significant arrest in Sabrina murder case. And prison gender pronoun badge plan criticised. Of course, that's the Telegraph doing that. Inside, Curse of Strictly strikes again, but this time it's COVID. BBC chief rewarded with £75,000 rise after just 1 year in the job. Drier crumpets on the menu if carbon dioxide supplies run low again. Oh my god! Leaf made significant arrest. Sophie Ellis Bextor talks about being raped at 17. Horrendous. Starmer refuses to rule out future income tax rises. Labour trans row. Javid says Sir Keir is denying medical facts. Oh, fuck off, Sajid Javid. There's a thing of Amanda Owen herding sheep across Southwark Bridge, a tradition symbolising the right of freemen of the City of London. Free recipe won't solve world's vaccine equality issues, says people who don't want to help solve vaccine equality issues. Huge losses devastate Merkel's party. Mercurial Macron will use void left behind to support European army. Rivals seen turnaround in fortunes. Pigs patrol Dutch airport to deter hazardous geese. That is an amazing story. We'll have to come back to that. That is page 15. UK urged to settle Afghans girls soccer team. Empathy headsets trialled on violent men. Fuck off. Nick Timothy, virtue signalling is now a clue that an institution is failing to deliver. Oh, what, like the Conservative Party? Beware penning portraits of your nearest and dearest, says Jane Schilling. Nadeem Zahawi writes, vaccines are vital for rebuilding education. No shit. Tim Stanley, still upset that builders laughed at his bow tie, says, vote Tory, get Ed Miliband's policies. In the features, what every husband should know about the menopause. Also, I lost £2 and took back control on my Brexit diet, writes Christopher Hope, yacht shagger supreme. Sometimes the whole crew is in tears. That's the headline on the piece about the repair shop. God, I'm nearly running out of time in these last few pages. Coen brother goes it alone for an astonishingly stark Macbeth. And in the obituaries, Roger Michell, film and theatre director who made the hit comedy Notting Hill. That's the Telegraph in 2 minutes 30 seconds. Raj is Sajid Javid is a Randian guy. He reads the Fountainhead once a year, which is just insane. Right, I'm just going to go back and quickly look at this story. This story about pigs patrolling a Dutch airport to deter hazardous geese. Swine deployed next to Schiphol's runways to eat sugar beet crop residues that attract the birds. 20 pigs are saving air passengers' bacon after being listed by a Dutch airport to stop planes smashing into flocks of geese. We're a pro-pig, pro-geese stream. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate, Fluff Weasel. Much appreciated. Empathy headset is just one of those can hats with straws, but with liquid MDMA. That would be amazing. Pigs and geese will team up and rise up against us, and they'll be right to do so. They can join the rats that are apparently going to climb up through our toilets. I, for one, welcome the toilet rats. Would be better than the Tories. Right, time for the Times. This is only going to go terribly, so great. Right, Ayn Rand is unreadable. Unreadable. Right, front page of the Times. The Times, top of the shop. He's been served. What's Prince Andrew's next move? I hope it involves an orange jumpsuit. On the right-hand side, the game. Tottenham thumped by rivals Arsenal. Story at the top of the page. Germans face months of uncertainty after knife-edge election. Main story. Army will be sent in to tackle fuel crisis. They say this. Don't know how fucking small the army is now. On the right-hand side, scum, insult, and tax rises split Labour leadership. And there's a quote in here from a unnamed shadow cabinet member who says, she's an imbecile until she realises that the party will never be credible. Shock news, Labour will never be credible. On page 3, stiff drinks, church causes furore by holding beer festival in a graveyard. I'm sorry, it's kind of hilarious to me. As if the dead give a shit. Jordan Peterson is going to get to go back to Cambridge to appear again. Police swoop on third man in hunt for school teacher's killer. Craig's final performance as Bond is a long goodbye, is the headline on that. Their thing on the fuel crisis. Punch-ups at petrol pumps as drivers clash over last drops. Imbeciles way worse than scum. Exactly. C122, H122. What can the army do? Are we invading Iraq against solve fuel shortage? No, they're going to get them to drive lorries. 70,000 from 450,000 in the Cold War. I guess we won't be invading Wales. Yeah. Migrant crossings double in a year, and more of their usual spin on that. Just one protester in court over M25 chaos. Good. I guess. Police spend £350,000 on Instagram. That's them redoing a Telegraph story. Absolutely weird distortion thing, but also fuck the police. Quentin Letts, join the party. We all hate each other here. Oh, check out in my media tweets for a hilarious picture of Quentin Letts stalking around the world transformed like the world's worst spy. Labour leader is denying scientific fact in trans row as the headline. Of course, they use the quote directly from Sajid Javid. Again, get serious about reclaiming the North, Star, I'm told. What's he going to do? March on it with his army of technocrats? Sonic wave caused Channel 4 disruption. Channel 4 is facing further disruption to its schedules after a sonic wave shut down the transmission servers at its tech supplier, leaving it unable to broadcast programs. The channel went dark for spells on Saturday, suffered issues yesterday after it switched to an emergency backup. Channel 4 is uncertain over whether normal services will resume while Red Bee Media races to fix the issues. Sources said the smoke was detected at a Red Bee service centre in West London, activating a fire suppression system that sucked all the oxygen out of the room. However, the safety measures triggered a sonic wave that shut down servers. This sounds mental. They have a go at Harry and Meghan for appearing at this cons at Global Citizen Live, calling it woke stock. They review Genesis at the Manchester AO Arena, saying seated Aileen Collins rises to the occasion. There's coverage of Steve Coogan going to be playing Jimmy Savile in a BBC series, because that is not at all a terrible idea. C122H129, I support Eggman. Sonic should be stopped. How does Sonic Wave even happen? Yeah, I know. God knows. First Keir takes Batley, then we take Berlin. Yeah. Claire Foges, famously a complete hater of GRT people, obsessed with them, in fact, writes, universal credit card is big mistake for Tories. It's true, but she doesn't think it's the reason for the reasons we think it is. Also, Edward Lucas, be bold, how to prevent the next energy crisis. Right, I'm sure, whatever. Satnam Sangera says, UK's ethnic minorities are keeping the faith. Libby Purvis says, as they turn 25, it's time to kill off buy-to-lets. Again, not for the right reasons. Savile, that racist prick. Well, also, he was a necrophile paedophile. And serial rapist, so, a few things. In the birthdays today, Nikki Haslam, 82. Diane Abbott, happy birthday to Diane Abbott, especially. She's 68. Bill Athley, the cricketer, for England until 88, is 64. Dame Josephine Barstow, the opera singer, is 81. Baroness Tessa Blackstone, the chairwoman of the Bar Standards Board, Asthma UK and British Lung Foundation Partnership, Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, is 79. Max Boyce, the comedian, is 78. Luke Campbell, the boxer, Olympic gold medalist at the bantamweight level in 2012, is 34. Sean Cassidy, singer of Do Ron Ron, 1977, and actor, is 63. Patrick Cheskow, the chairman of Intercontinental Hotels Group, chief executive of Unilever until 2008, is 73. Alan Cook, the chartered engineer, chairman of the HS2 High-Speed Railway until 2021, is 72. Barbara Dixon, the singer, I know him so well, with Elaine Page in 1984, it's 74. Michelle Dautrice, the actress, Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, is 73. Simona Halep, the tennis player, world singles number 14, Wimbledon women's singles winner in 2019, is 30. Michael Houlihan, the Director General of the Japan House London, the National Museum of Wales till 2010, is 73. John Inverdale, TV and radio presenter, former host of Rugby Special and Grandstand, 64. Avril Lavigne, singer-songwriter, is 37. Denise Lawson, the actor, Dennis Lawson, why have they written as Denise? Dennis Lawson, the actor in New Tricks, is 74. Meatloaf, the singer, is 74. Brendan McCullum, the cricketer for New Zealand, is 40. Gwyneth Paltrow is 49. Monica Puig, the tennis player and Olympic gold medalist, is 28. Peter Sellers, the opera and theatre director, is 64. Sir Richard Stagg, the warden of Winchester College and the UK ambassador to Afghanistan until 2015, is 66. Indira Varma, the actress, is 48. Sir Gerald Warner, the deputy head of MI6 until 1996, is 90. And Irving Welsh, the novelist and screenwriter, is 63. On this day in 1905, a paper by Albert Einstein was received by the scientific journal Annalen der Physik, introducing the equation E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the velocity of light squared. In 1939, Warsaw surrendered to the Nazis. The last word goes to Aldous Huxley in his book Themes and Variations, 1950. Most human beings have an almost infinite capacity for taking things for granted. Rapist prick. I thought he said racist prick. I was like, what? Slinker Maya, happy birthday to Diane Abbott. Heathmore 2401, afternoon or hello. Denis, I am so in love with you. Yeah. Slinker Maya, Gwyneth Paltrow sharing a birthday with Meatloaf is kind of hilarious. It is, isn't it? There's something about that. In the world news, fight to succeed Merkel leaves a vacuum at the heart of Europe. Mutti leaves the stage with her legacy in doubt, writes Oliver Moody, the Times German correspondent. Concerns over Monaco Princess's video. The Monte Carlo Gala for Planetary Health was a lavish occasion, that sounds insane, that saw the rich and famous pledge to fight climate change while Sharon Stone received a Lifetime Achievement Award. Yet the basic internet actress was clipped by Princess Charlene, Monaco's missing royal, who marked the event by posting a video on her Instagram account that has raised eyebrows in the tiny Mediterranean principality. As I was born of the ocean, so the ocean was born of me. I present to you a piece of both, said the caption, beneath a photograph featuring the princess's head emerging from water. The video was widely interpreted as intent by Charlene to show that she remains attached to Monaco and to her husband Prince Albert, its sovereign, even though she has spent at least the past 5 months in South Africa. In practice, it appears to have backfired, drawing attention to her absence. The Figaro newspaper called the message enigmatic. Elle magazine said it was mysterious, and the French reaction raised more questions for a royal family that plays a pivotal role in Monaco. Charlene, 43, left for South Africa last spring to work with her foundation. She has a South African nationality, having moved there as a child from her native Zimbabwe and gone on to represent it at swimming in the Olympics. Villagers warned of wolf packs after hunting ban. The Spanish government has made an extraordinary mistake by banning wolf hunting. Politicians in the north of the country said they vowed to fight the new law and warned that wolves would swarm through the villages, and we are pro-war wolf here. Times 2, a prince in hiding. Should Andrew come out and fight? He should come out and go and talk to the American authorities. That's what he should do. And ideally end up in prison. Anyways, a load of other stuff in Times 2. I cannot be arsed with that today. David Cameron's engulfed in a new row. The former Prime Minister faces more questions. He's facing new questions about his business links after the British division of a technology group he advises restated its accounts over multi-million-pound errors linked to the use of financial mechanism that aids tax avoidance. The restatement of the 2019 accounts of the UK division of Affinity, a Bermuda-based software company, threatens to open a new front in the scandal over the former Prime Minister's choice of business partners. His reputation was tarnished by the collapse of Greensill Capital. Long before that, the finance company he advised is subject to a fraud inquiry. Affinity Europe Technologies recorded a 334.5 million adjustment in its gross profit and a 27.7 million revision to its pre-tax profit for the year to June 2019 after a series of accounting errors related to its intercompany dealings, recording of expenses, and valuation of intellectual property. David Cameron should go away. I see more than when he was PM. Yeah. High cost of Boohoo of updating its image. Boohoo to that. Paul Johnson in the business column says inequality matters and knowing why may be the key to beating it. Fuck off. Satellite entrepreneurs plan astronomical growth. Comic relief lies behind a different kind of startup. Oh, they're always different kinds of startups, aren't they? Pig eggs aren't cheap, says Friar Bentos. Fact. Jeff Hill, award-winning editor who made the call that ensured ITV News was the first station to tell the nation that Britain was leaving the EU, has died. He was tragically young. He was 52. He died of leukemia on September 16th, 2021. He also once got an exclusive on Charles and Camilla's car being pelted with eggs, which is funny. Also in the obituaries, of course, Alan Lancaster, original bass player with Status Quo, who helped define the no-frills boogie sound before his bitter departure from the band. He was 72. And Joan Washington, the dialect coach and wife of Richard E. Grant, who taught a slew of British actors how to speak with an authentic American accent. She was 74. He wrote a very nice piece about her passing, and that's very sad. They're trying to sell you raw dog food. They're trying to sell you insurance. They're trying to sell you all kinds of crap. What are they called? Cruises. And in the sport, Europe reduced to tears. US inflict 19-9 Ryder Cup humiliation. Emotional McIlroy, I let the team down. No, it's just simply the Americans were much better. Right, that is the Times. Give me your score for the Times. I say quadruple negative nice. Minus 69, minus 69, minus 69. And now we come finally, but inevitably, to the Daily Mail. No crystals for sale today in the Times. Gotta jump back to the Sun if you want crystals, and no sign of coins yet. But it tends to be that the coin ads come later in the week.
No
Coins,
no
coins.
Not after the coin trouble you've seen.
No, that's true. Slinker Meyer gives the Times a quadruple negative. Nice. C122H122 says coins. Thank you. Daily Mail will break me. I will break you, says C122H122. Dubhane gives the gives the Times a curious -3 to the power 4,444. Right, here we go. It's the Daily Mail. Top of the shot for the Daily Mail. How to survive a heart attack. One good way is to not stress yourself out by reading the Daily Mail. On the left-hand side, strictly hit by fresh COVID crisis. And of course, the main story for them today is smart motorway horrors exposed. Now, smart motorways are a terrible idea. Of course they are. Daily Mail have sent an undercover reporter in there, which just means some poor sap who had to go and work there on minimum wage for ages. Finds 1 in 10 vital safety cameras not working. Failings to so bad, staff said, start praying to your God. Though that quote does read like someone's making a joke, to be honest. Context. Going inside to inside the paper. Strictly Strotters struck down by COVID. Christopher Stevens says Strictly's comeback was 4 stars and says blokes dancing together. Why did it take so long? I don't know, Daily Mail. On pages 4 and 5, inside motorway control room, whose faulty cameras put lives at risk. Anyway, this is actually not a bad piece of investigation. Unfortunately, it's in the Daily Mail. They dedicate 8 pages to that. On page 10, for pity's sake, end the death traps. Claire Mercer, whose husband was killed on a smart motorway, and just after they took the picture for this piece, apparently she witnessed another crash there. She's obviously standing on a bridge over the motorway rather than on the motorway. Why did that happen, says C122H122? Homophobia, I think. Exactly. On page 11, flight camera accident. Sussex's film Netflix show like royals on tour, then fly back to LA on private jet. Oh, God, fuck off. And they've done stuff like circled the microphone cable for whatever reason. On page 12 and 13, army set to fight fuel crisis. Their thing is always just get the army to do it. As we mentioned earlier in the stream, the army's tiny now. I wonder why all this infrastructure is crumbling. Couldn't think why. Yeah, it won't have any. It's nothing to do with the governments that the Daily Mail supported. On page 14, Germany votes to replace Merkel and gets more Merkel because she's going to have to stay in place till her successor is appointed. Dame Eileen 1887 calls picky older actresses too vain. Eileen Atkins has criticised veteran actresses who complain about lack of roles for women their age, calling them too vain. Apparently, sporty boys have fewer mental health problems, according to some dubious research. On page 16 and 17, Labour storm over Tory scum jibe. Starmer refuses to order deputy to apologise as Rayner doubles down on her abusive tirade. And of course, another picture of her smoking a fag. Fears of a £50 top tax rate, and that's just for starters. That's 50 pence top tax rate, sorry. On page 19, Salt Bay. Who remembered that he even existed? Is the Sultan of Steak really the dish of the day? Is the hottest new chef in London charging £700 for gold leaf covered meat and £100 for a burger? Jan Noir samples the sizzle. He's not the hottest chef in London. Shut up. Blaming the PM for new winter of discontent shows a chronic shortage of common sense, says the most zombie-looking motherfucker in papers, Stephen Glover. Abusive. Fuck off, says Slinker Meyer. Yeah, agreed. Heath Moore's just explaining a smart motorway. Yeah, good. Smart motorway, as Heath Moore says, replaces the hard shoulder with a full lane. Can become a hard shoulder if the cameras detect someone who needs to stop. It's a smart bit. But the cameras often fail. On page 21, a new fashion range for dressing your dog like you. Only put dogs in coats if they're cold. Fashion for dogs is stupid. On pages 22 and 23. Got to spare 150 million? Join the queue at the Monaco Yacht Show, where a post-COVID boom has seen the super rich splashing out as never before. Billionaires' sale of the century. Why is this? Because during COVID, billionaires' net worth rocketed. Invest now in my guillotine startup. C122, H122, probably a bit tinny, talking about hot chef in UK's food shortages and £20 cut to universal credit. Yeah, funny that, isn't it? Throwing stones at lions, a day at the zoo, Taliban style. Report from Richard Pendlebury in Afghanistan. Male reporter witnesses cruel scene as jihadis taunt pride of Kabul with leopard pelts for sale in nearby market. Oh, yeah, you love being there. Glover talking about common sense, imagine that. Terry Jones's widow is facing a family court battle after over his fortune with two of the Monty Python stars' children, son and daughter from his first marriage, father claiming an apparent bid to obtain a bigger share of his estate. Oh god, the Daily Mail loves that shit. On pages 26 and 27, it's Princess Diana stuff. Charles and Diana's very dangerous liaisons. It's the trickiest security service job imaginable, protecting the royals when they're having affairs. A new job lays bare how officers did it and how close Charles came to kidnap by a female mob. Oh, that's going to be bullshit. Anyway, this book's called On Her Majesty's Secret Service by Richard J. Aldrich and Rory Cormack. And of course, there's a massive picture of Major James Hewitt, who certainly isn't Prince Harry's real father, and you'd be a mug to suggest otherwise. Why you spent £4 million on illegal guns and zombie knives? I did. Where are my illegal guns and zombie knives?
I think in the dishwasher.
Rouse Home Office dishes out cash to owners of ban list weapons. Oh, for fuck's sake, just fuck off. Bill for the horror cash. Okay, on this day, September the 27th, 2021, from the Daily Mail archive in 1960. Fidel Castro, the Cuban premier, told the UN General Assembly tonight that his government is considering requesting US naval and military forces be withdrawn from the Guantanamo base. It was thrust on us, a base against the government of Cuba and a constant threat and cause of fear to our people, he declared. September 27, 1968, 3 out of 4 Welsh people support next year's investiture of Prince Charles as Prince of Wales. The decision conclusive to all this decisive conclusion to all the agitation about the investiture of Carnarvon emerges from the survey of Welsh nationalism by national opinion polls. Happy birthday to Diana, but she's 68. The Daily Mail manages to say happy birthday to her by going on about where she sent her son to school. Irving Welsh, 63. They talk about him, his heroin habit, funded by multiple gyro claims, so a way to be snide about 2 people on their birthdays. Born on this day in 1928, Margaret Rule, the Buckinghamshire-born archaeologist, made her name leading the project to raise the Mary Rose, flagship of Henry VIII's Navy. From the Solent, after learning to dive, she headed a team of more than 50, assisted by more than 500 volunteer divers and a staff of 70 at a shore base. It was finally raised in 1982, after 437 years underwater. And Peter Bonetti, born 1941, the London-born Chelsea goalkeeper nicknamed the Cat, was part of England's 1966 World Cup winning squad, was not used. He was largely blamed for England's loss against West Germany in the 1970 World Cup quarter-final, though he had been suffering from food poisoning. On September 27th in 1590, Pope Urban VII died from malaria. His tenure at 13 days is the shortest ever, and in 1993, Cracker starring Robbie Coltrane began on ITV. Quote of the day comes from Elsa Maxwell, the US gossip columnist, 1883 to 1963. I hate cocktail parties. They're for people who are not good enough to invite for dinner. Then they stay for dinner. Joke of the day. What did one firefly say to the other? Got to glow now. In Inspire, is this the fat jab Linda should have had? After Superman model Linda Evangelista says she was left deformed by a fat-busting ice treatment, a new injection could be the answer. Melanie McDonough puts it to the test. Oh, for fuck's sake, no, stop this. Stop this. It hurt like Billy-O and my neck swelled up like a toad in mating season, but a few weeks later there's less podginess around my jaw. There absolutely isn't. Look at the before and after pictures. Also, stop promoting this kind of shit. The one lesson that Richard Osman has learned in life is don't give your children advice. I'd have thought the lesson he would have learned is that if you're a relatively mediocre white man but you're well connected and you'll suck up to anyone, you'll get whatever you want. Pablo Bonza, Dublin has to sink the Bismarck when Britannia was better than substandard. Mark Canosis, it's okay to be snide about Irving Welsh though, the embarrassing cunt. You should get back on the gear and share needles with Will Self. Jesus Christ, Mark. Pablo Bonzo says, wait, what? The Taliban are bad guys? Who knew? Thank you for redeeming Hydrate, C122, H122. Dog psychic who can read your mutt's minds. Spoiler, she cannot. Stop with this shit. In the verdict, how the tables turned, the front page of that is about Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1. How to survive a heart attack. It's about the first few minutes in hospital, essentially. Dr. Max is awful. The day I prescribed a penguin over a pill. Oh, God. Rich, lazy, then these are the women you need. They're virtual assistants who cater for every woman. As if the Daily Mail's acting like virtual assistants is a new thing. Confessions of a bedtime procrastinator. Do you put off heading for bed? Or do you find yourself cleaning the house at midnight? You're part of a modern trend. Claudia Cotton tries to break the habit. I know someone who does things like that. Just Super. Are they the new season superfoods? What are they? Chickpea flour. Carob. Ugh. Swapping chocolate for carob is an old school thing, and carob is disgusting. Live longer with seaweed. I don't mind seaweed. And acerola cherries are like a vitamin shot. These tart fruits aren't cherries at all, but are in fact tropical berries. They also happen to be one of the richest sources of vitamin C. Oh, God. Fucking hell. C122. My dog's mind is always, should I leg myself? Yes. Mark Canosis. Zero tolerance for Gen X cultural barnacles. Agreed. Dubhane liked the dad joke. Fair dues. They're trying to sell you a quilted jacket. It's very ugly. Pick of the day, The Goes Wrong Show, 8:30pm. BBC One, of course, it's the kind of thing the Daily Mail loves. Christopher Stevens gives Vigil 2 stars and Endeavour 4 stars. In the cartoons today, John and Garfield are looking out of the window saying, oh no, summer is gone. In Chloe and Co., Chloe and her friend are drinking and talking about men. And in Fred Bassett, the dog Fifi has come along and he says the one thing that Fifi can pull off with aplomb is understated elegance. Isn't he a nice one? Asshole cherries. I don't think they're actually called asshole cherries, but I'm not going back to work out what they're called. Right.
Berries, is it?
Yes. I don't know. They're not even cherries. They're tropical berries, it turns out. Right. There are no poems on a Monday, so be grateful for that. But the straight to the point letters. The first person's name, presumably, really, she is called Mrs. Jane Gromit. Mrs. Jane Gromit, right? Yes. Yeah, Mark Canosis, Fred was simping there. Anyway, Mrs. Jane Gromit of Shavington. Come on. Right. Why doesn't Extinction Rebellion form a political party with candidates in every constituency at the next general election? Is it because they know that no one would vote for them? No, it's because they're an op. Bill Davis of Biggin Hill says, the CO2 shortage could affect beer production. This is serious. I'd better find a motorway to sit on. Fuck off. T. Bailey says, with steeply rising prices, how long before pound shops become £1.50 shops? Most of them have. Lionel Drew says, the reason the lighting is so poor on the BBC's new drama The North Water is it's been used up by Strictly Come Dancing. Barry Davis of Matt Chorley, Lancashire says, the terms children and grandchildren are not work. Time to keep up with the kids, all you senior protective generations. What? Shut up. And NJ Wotton, presumably not related to worst man in British media, Dan Wotton, says, I could just about tolerate a change from miles to kilometres if it was pronounced correctly as kilometres, not kilometres. What? Why don't you just like fucking write this letter, stick it up your arse, instead of sending it to the Daily Mail. Mark Canosis, I did find out yesterday that there's a velocity lecture called Jumbly Grindrod. Yes, I saw that too. Pablo Bonso, Matt Shortley, Lancashire, yeah. Hatemore 2401, literally inventing a guide to get mad at. They love to invent a guide to get mad at, don't they? Okay. Right, anyway. Today's recipe's chicken noodle soup. Looks fine. I do like chicken noodle soup. Their recipe, to be honest, is odd. Pajama twin pack. Yours for just $17.99. Normally worth £65. These pyjamas are not worth £65, even with their incredible detail wolf print. Oh, I see you've just put your pyjamas on. Yes. Did you notice the incredible detail wolf print? Other bargains you can get: soft faux suede slippers. That's slippers that play paw covers of the Drowners. A pack of 4 fantasy socks. What is a fantasy sock? Devs, any idea?
Like a wank sock.
A pack of 3 sporty boxers. Oh, so you've put...
I think it's like a wank sock.
Yeah, fair enough. I see you've put on new boxers. Yes, thank you. They're sporty. Or a pack of 4 plain briefs. They couldn't decide an exciting one for that. Protective Generation is one with a line of cheap credit and keep writing into a newspaper that holds their hand. Yeah. The wank socks are made of hobbit foot hair, says Slenkermeyer. Pablo Bonzo says, Mrs. Ventspleen of Sutton in Ashfield writes, Dubhane, that's a Derbyshire accent, broken boy. Dubhane, the key thing about the accents that I do in the letters is, they're ropey, and I've got about 5 and I sort of rotate them. Also, how are we to know that person in Lancashire isn't actually from Derbyshire? Answer me that. You can't. The defence rests. Load of things for retirement living, a load of recliner chair things, a cruise to Australia, and in the sport, crying shame. Tearful Rory breaks down as Europe crashed to worst ever Ryder Cup defeat. Again, it's not that they were terrible, it's that the Americans played well. That happens sometimes. C122, H122, do Keith accent, please. I'm not very good at doing the Keir Starmer voice. The best Keir Starmer impression at the moment is Milo from Trash Future. It is quality. Right. Mark Kenosis, thank you for acknowledging the suede joke, because no one else will. To be honest, I only did the suede joke for you. Was this? Why has Snur just said Milo? Yeah, Milo. Milo from Trash Future. Okay, so thank you for joining me on the show. Honestly, I'm Milo's just cheating by doing the Partridge voice. It's Mark. Well, yeah, it's slightly. His Partridge voice and his Keith voice are close, but there's a tiny difference. Right, please help me out today by going to brokenbottleboy.substack.com, clicking on the latest newsletter and sharing it to Facebook, Twitter, wherever else. Print it out. Make it into paper airplanes that you fire at people. Anything like that. Whatever you can do. It would really help today. Dubhane says, blue suede slippers with a Presley fantasy flock sock. Fairg's Broken Bottle by Derbyshire folk do migrate. Mark Kennedy says, we of course know the best cover of the Drowners. In fact, surpassing our original is by Flying Saucer Attack. I do sort of agree with that, yeah. Also, if you want to help me out in another way, if you want to support the show but don't want to subscribe here on Twitch, just chuck some coins into the paper fund, paypal.me/conquest of the useless. And finally, if you like the show, like talking to people in the chat, are you going to sleep or having a Diet Coke? I'm going to have a nap in a bit, but I have to go to the supermarket first to get food for dinner. I nearly...
There is any on the shelves.
It should be. Well, I'll just take what I can get. I nearly did, I don't know if people know Lawrence from TikTok, I nearly said dinner, which is a very minor reference, really. Mark Knox is printing off the newsletter and leaving it at crime scenes. Love it. Yeah, join the Discord. If you like the chat here, please join the Discord where you can share newspapers and articles that you hate, and we can talk about them and do other stuff, you know, spam me about coins you've seen, all that kind of stuff. And finally, if you're watching the show on YouTube, the show goes up on YouTube every day after it goes out live here on Twitch. If you're watching it on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. Darlene says, take a jerry can with me. I'm going to cycle with a jerry can and fill it up with milk at the Tesco's. C122H122 says, I need more coins. Person in the room does not agree with that. Does not agree with that. It's a strong disagree from her. Final reminder, one more time, if you can share the newsletter, that would be fantastic. See you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. When I'll be back here, and have a lovely time otherwise this afternoon. If you need to get me on the Discord or get me on Twitter. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.